All right. Ladies, I just want to thank you so much again for hopping on here. So I want to, first of all, just recap. Okay, so we talked about really full circle, simple success. This business, it's not a difficult thing. The most difficult thing I think is, what goes on between the 6 inches between your ears and the belief and not giving up and the perseverance. But we talked about last week, we talked about booking appointments. And so booking appointments is key, obviously, in your business. And so if you didn't get a chance to watch that, I hope that you'll go back and look at the Full Circle Simple Success booking tips. And so tonight we're going to talk about coaching a party to hold. And I want to make sure that you guys know it's great to ask questions. And so if you have questions as we're going, either type it in the chat or just raise your hand. And I want you to ask questions, okay? So, yay, there's Dolores. Hey, Trista, thank you for hopping on. And so, anyway, so we're going to talk about coaching a party to hold. You guys, I want to first of all apologize because when I was brand new in my business, I just thought if you booked enough appointments, they would just hold. People would just show up. And when you're the type of person that I think shows up when they say they're going to show up, then you're like, what? You told me you're going to be there and you weren't there? What happened? And so don't be surprised. It does happen. And
Yeah.
so let's talk about the first thing that I think is really important, and that is getting your hostess excited. So, is she enthusiastic about what you're going to be doing at the party? So, I like to ask people, what would you be really excited to try at your follow-up appointment? Would you be excited to do masking or some exfoliation, or would you just love like a foundation match and maybe a glamour on the go? Or would you be excited, just get them excited. What are the different options that you can share? Because the more enthusiasm that she has, the more enthusiasm she's going to convey when she reaches out to her girlfriends. And how can she earn free product? It's really important for her to know how she can win. And so make sure that you are coaching her well on that. Something I did recently, and it worked out really, really well, is I, was coaching her on, okay, so when you have, and so you guys, sometimes I just do something stupid simple. Like when you have 3 people there, I'm going to give you $50 free product, no matter what. And so this gal, she had, some guests that were coming and she's like, I don't really know anybody. And then, but guess what? She did have more than 3 people there. And then I also told her, I said, okay, one more thing. I said, when you have $100 in outside sales prior to the party, and I gave her a link, the Shop My Party link. I said, when you have $100 in outside sales, I'm going to give you another $50 in free product. And so you guys, okay, so my profit from $100 in sales is $50. Okay, so $50. And then if I give her $50 in product, that only costs me $25. So I'm still profiting $25 on the outside sales. And so it was awesome because her mom actually bought, but she didn't spend $100. She bought $86 worth of Mary Kay. So I said, you know what? I'm still going to give you 25 free. And she was excited about that. And so get them excited. And when you can get them getting sales prior to the party, guess what? You're helping her be successful and you're selling product to more people. And so it's really powerful. Also, which products is she excited to get for free? So when you're talking to her about that hostess program and you're saying, you can get $50 free for this, you can get $50 free for this, ask her. So let's just say you get $100 in free product. What are you going to pick first? And then she says, well, I'm probably going to pick that microdermabrasion. And I would say, you know what? You're going to love that. I use it a couple of times a week. It just does such a great job at exfoliating and getting rid of the residue, etc. So you all know how to do that, but get her excited. Next, you got to get a guest list, because if you want an opportunity to make sure people show up and you want to help her be successful, you have to get a guest list. And so what I do is I just tell people, like, and like they text me. So they text me and then I just print it off. I print it off of my phone. And so I just say, hey, send me their name and their phone number. And if they're hesitant, I say, hey, I want to get in contact with the people that you're going to have come to the party, or that you'd like to have come to the party. And so I've got some questions to ask them about their skin type. If I feel like she's kind of like, doesn't want to give me the information, I always say something like this. I would like to ask them about their skin type and their preferences. Would you like me to go through you to contact all of them? Or would you like me to just shoot them a text? They always say, I'll just give you their number, because they're like, oh, I don't want to be the middleman. You know what I mean? Which they shouldn't have to be the middleman. So anyway, and I just tell them I'm going to contact them to make sure that I have the right their product skin type. So I have the relevant products for everyone at your event. And then what you do with the list, start building relationships and connections with those people. And so when you build a connection, she's not just like disappointing her girlfriend that she's been friends with for 20 years that's going to love her no matter what. She's, breaking a promise to a new friend, you. And so what I like to do is I utilize something called 4 touches. And so I like to get in contact with them 4 times, 3 minimum. Like if it's a quick turnaround party, I'll at least do 3, but I like to do 4. And so the first one is the invitation. And maybe your gal said, hey, these are the people that say, yes, they're coming. Then I say, hey, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. I'm really excited to meet you. But you can invite them on the first one and get their skin type. Say, are you pretty normal, more dry, or more oily? And then a couple of days later, I would send them the information about the Skin Analyzer app, and maybe give them a bonus and say, I am going to bring you a fun pampering package, or an extra take-home package with a treatment in it when you do this, and send me your results. We want to know what their results are, because that way we know what is targeted specifically for her. How powerful is that? Next, and by the way, what would you take them? You can take them a hydrating sheet mask if you have some of those. You can take them a sample of a charcoal mask, and you can, because you're going to know what is good for her skin. If she's oily, maybe a little charcoal mask and a lifesaver and a little bit of shred and a catalog, or maybe a microdermabrasion sample, or maybe the Time Wise moisture renewal gel mask if she has dry skin. So you can customize it just for her. Okay. The next touch that I usually like to do is, hey, Susie, thank you so much for doing the Skin Analyzer app. I know what the results said, but I want to know from you, what would you change about your skin if you could change anything? And so that kind of allows for an open conversation on kind of, what her desires are. And so isn't that the most important? And so then you can say things like, Susie, I'm so excited about Thursday night, because we are actually going to be trying a masking product. And so I think that you're absolutely going to love it. And I think it's going to help make a difference in your skin. And so the next touch that I would do, and by the way, at some point in here, I know that I'm giving you like 5 actually, but at some point you'll want to plug in, hey, if you have any girlfriends that want to join us, we have a couple spots available. Can I save you a spot? Can I save you an extra spot for a girlfriend? Ask the question just like that. Do not say, let me know if we can save you a spot, because that's an open-ended opportunity that may never happen, if that makes sense. Okay, and then the last text that I like to do before the party is maybe the morning of, or maybe the night before the party, depending on what time of day the party's going to be held, is I just say, hey, Susie, I am so excited to meet you tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. You know, if she did Skin Analyzer app, I'm excited to bring you your little pampering package. Thank you so much for doing that, and I can't wait to meet you. Okay? And so the best way that I have found to do this is put alarms or reminders or schedule appointments on your date book. So like if I have Susie Q's party a week from today, so I have a party next Monday night. So I would probably schedule my first text to go out Tuesday night, and then I'm going to do a Thursday night, and then I'll do like a Saturday maybe, and then maybe the Sunday night. So I'm going to put that on my calendar. Susie Q touch 1, Susie Q touch 2, Susie Q touch 3, Susie Q touch 4. That way you know what message you're sending out to her people. By the way, it's also really important to keep your list handy. I like to keep my list in my date book. I didn't bring my date book right here with me, but like on that day of, in like the separate day calendar, I put a list of who's coming to the party, and I like to put their skin type and other different things on there as well. So I can look at it at a glance. I've got their phone numbers, their names. So you've got all of that information. Also, keep your client, your hostess in the loop. You can do the 4 touches with her as well. Be mindful, obviously, if she's ever done it before. You know, you just want to use common sense with that. And, you know, you won't do a copy paste. You'll be changing your verbiage for her. So, but let her know who's planning to be there. Get her excited. If someone is ordering on the link before the party, the Shop My Party link, let her know, especially if there's a goal. So you can say, Susie, oh my goodness, someone ordered $50 worth of Mary Kay already for your party. You're only $50 away from getting that $50 free bonus. So let her know how she can win. Another thing is tracking. When you are doing several parties, you may consider having a dry erase board to keep all of your parties straight. Well, I was gonna say, I can probably, mine's a mess, but I'll pull it over here real quickly, just so you can kind of see this. I've got to update this. See, it's terrible, but I have the hostess, like who's the hostess, when is the date, was it coached, and what type of party is it, how many guests, did I get some bookings, and did I get some sales? And so this definitely needs to be updated because I've been super slammed doing my 5 and 5s, but get a system so you can glance. And I like to have paper date book also, so I can always look at that, but I like to have a system so I can see I've got 5 parties on my books right now, or I've got 10 parties on my books right now. Okay. And maybe they're not all in person. Maybe you're doing some hybrid, and I do those also. So it's not just in person. You can do things virtually as well and still get them to hold super successfully. So anyway, all right. Sorry, I dropped some things on the floor. What questions do you all have about coaching your parties? Questions, comments, anyone? Anyone?
She does. I was waiting because I could tell she's trying to unmute.
Trista?
Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm on my phone right now. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
So, I love the idea of using the skin analyzer app. So I had a friend reach out to me last week, and she has a friend that's going to be moving and wants is going out of town, and she wants to book a small party with her and a couple of her girlfriends. And so she wants to do like skincare and a little bit of color, because they're not going to be able to book two parties with that group before she moves, which is fine. So what I did was I got the color link from the Rosie, the color like this foundation match. And then I also texted them like, I want you to download the skin analyzer app from Mary Kay, because I wanted to know what's going on with your skin, and then following up. So the next thing I will do is like what you had suggested, was following up on, okay, this is what the analyzer app tells me. These are all the amazing products that we can use, but let's hone in on one thing, because we're not going to be able to use all of these things like in one night, right? And so I really, really like that idea of giving that opportunity to not only for them to like hear me say what they could possibly use, but like for them to see on that skin analyzer app, they can see like exactly what their needs are. That's the one thing I love about that app, right? It's such a cool tool. And so that has got them excited, the three ladies excited that I'm going to be meeting with. So I really like that. So that'll be fun to kind of follow up with them as to like what they specifically want to focus on now. So thanks for mentioning that. That was really good.
I love that. And Trista, one thing that you mentioned that I really love too, and that is that we have an opportunity to use the foundation shade finder. Does everybody know where to find that on their website? If you go to your marykay.com / mine's Jana Strunk, obviously, go to your website, because then it will be connected to your website when they go there. And you just go to tips and trends. And so it's under tips and trends, and you click on the link, and then you save it from the browser, from up in the, I don't know if it's called in the browser, it's in the address line. Save that link and you share that with people. And that is so powerful, because if you're going to do a skincare class and you tell them, we're going to do expert foundation matching, let me know what color you are, because that way you can make sure that you have samples with you.
And my friend Jessica, who is hosting this party, she sent hers and it gave her 2 color matches. And so I told her I wanted her to send me a selfie in the light with no makeup on, and that would help me. I will pull the 2 colors, and then it would help me better, which I've already color matched her. Like I know she's a N150, but like to explain to her why I feel like that would be a better match now versus the cooler tones for like winter possibly. And so anyway, so good. That was good conversation to have, but I love that tool because they people want to be color matched, and some people don't want to have to come in. Like I've had orders where I've sent that link and they're like, okay, I want to order this shade, and they roll with it and they've loved it. So those are like people that aren't local that I can't really like in person color match, right?
Right.
So
I love that. There's other companies that are promoting this. Have you seen it like on Instagram or whatever? People will say, oh, I just did this survey and I got this color and look how it matches. And I'm like, duh, hello. So I just think that we've got great technology that we could really be utilizing. And
Also, we
so-
have we have great technology, but great prices. And so this is something really cool that happened last week. I had a customer reach out that lives in Utah. And she goes, Trista, I know I've like told you I wanted to use Mary Kay products, and she uses some products. She's like, but I just can't afford paying like not $80 or $90 for this foundation that's advertised on social media.
wow.
And that is a great color match for her. Like she loves it. She's like, but I just can't afford it. And she's like, what do you have? And so we did the link and I sent it to her and got her a shade and she loves it. So
Isn't that amazing? And she can feel good about wearing it every day.
yeah.
She doesn't have to, because she's paying a quarter of the price.
So
Oh,
it's really cool. So,
I love that. I love that. Trista, thank you so much for just being on tonight. And we're just excited to see you. And I'm so excited to see you
oh
on.
my God. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
It's gonna be epic. I'm just saying. Okay. Anyone else have questions or comments? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and